Born to Ride is sponsored in part by Rubenstein Law, 1-800-FL-LEGAL, representing riders since 1988. Offices throughout Florida, 1-800-FL-LEGAL. If Instagram is your thing, we're there. We're everywhere. Follow us at #Born to Ride Motorcycle Media, your #1 motorcycle resource.
Thanks for tuning in to Born to Ride TV, the longest-running biker TV show in the world. This week, Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. We love you, Mom. But now it's time to go in-depth with Flash from the Born to Ride radio show with Nefarious James. Check out his unspoken responsibility. Then, we learn about the Elk motorcycle at Wheels Through Time. And Mr. Nefarious just may lay down a little more smackdown. All this and more here on Born to Ride.
Today's best and tomorrow's greats.
It's time
for Cranked Up Country.
This is Cranked Up Country, heard on all the great stations across the nation. Check us out, crankedupcountryradio.com, or find us on social media, see what's going on with us. Born to Ride Motorcycle Media is the hub for the American biker lifestyle. Read it, watch it, ride it. BornToRide.com. Check out Born to Ride Magazine, the radio show, the podcast, the YouTube channel, and of course the events. It's the life and times of motorcycles and the people who ride them. Born to Ride, proud sponsor of the Cranked Up Country Radio Show podcast. Read it, watch it, ride it. BornToRide.com.
Today's best and tomorrow's greats.
For all those people that are all smartened up talking Kiz, Arnie, and K-Fizz, they know what's going on. What you gonna do when Born to Ride runs wild on you, brother?
Nefarious James is in the house. He made it. Welcome to the show, man. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, happy Cinco de Mayo to you, too.
I was reading your article on Now Leave. Dive right into it, man. Give me some of the details on your thoughts with Now Leave.
Well, my thoughts on Now Leave, it's been... Daytona is pretty much a staple right now as an example of what's been going on with, I guess you could say, law enforcement flexing its muscle in order to stop clubs from being able to go inside of bars, organizations. We're talking even eateries. It comes down to where it's not only over in Daytona, it's in Sturgis, it's in a lot of the other major biker events, even some of it's starting to creep into the smaller venues where they don't want you in there. If you're wearing a patch on your back, it doesn't matter whether. See, here's the misconception, is that it's for outlaw clubs anyway. I love that term, outlaw club.
Yeah, don't you love that?
Always entertaining.
Yeah.
But it's for any club, any patch you have on your back, whether it's a veterans club, whether it's a religious organization, it doesn't matter. Well, I know what ended up happening when I first put it out there. I put it out on social media, figured I'd test it, see if people were even aware of this. And a lot of people, first thing, were like, oh, this goes for outlaw clubs. This goes for those, the dark side, which I always love the dark side part, yeah. And I was like, you guys don't even have a clue on what's really going on here. I mean, it doesn't even matter if you put Lone Wolf whatever on your back. You got that patch on your back, you're not going in that bar to get a drink.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you're Christian, motorcycle, it doesn't matter. If you have a patch on your back, you're not going in. They had that at the fairgrounds in Tampa some years back. I'm thinking like 6 maybe years ago.
Right.
Where a law firm ended up representing a bunch of bikers. The Federation of Clubs got involved. So you had a whole mix. Everything from Veterans Club, religious, 1% clubs, all showed up at the gates. looking to gain entrance because they didn't want to have patches going inside the venue. Eventually, they did allow everybody in, of course, under definite observation. But it still comes down to it's a violation of your constitutional rights. You have the right to assemble, regardless of what your religious affiliation, regardless of what your group affiliation. It is your right in this country to do that. And if you really want to end up coming down soup to nuts, and I'm about to make a whole lot of friends here on this one, so
do it, man.
Oh yeah, luckily I've got my AAA's, got my bail bonds already set.
There you go.
That's not AA, by the way. But the largest group, if you end up taking a look at the definition of gang, and I'm sure a lot of people end up having other things to add to this, is any group or organization, all right, that ends up wearing the same attire, the same color, the same badging, the same. Basically, you're wearing matching outfits. I got pulled over years ago, and one of the things I ended up looking at is all law enforcement agencies are wearing the same colors. They're wearing the same uniforms, if you want to end up putting it. And one of them actually told me while he had me down on the ground by an M4 and said, "You know what? You're messing with the wrong group of people. We're the biggest club in this country." He said that. Now, you're looking at, basically what is that? Well, that's intimidation to me. You're trying to flex what you've got to put the fear of whatever it is you want in me. And I'm sure I'm not the only ones. In fact, other people that I spoke to over the years have told me the same thing about harassment and intimidation. Like I said, this is going to make me a lot of friends on it, but it's what's going on. It's no different than what you're seeing on these videos on social media of, I'm not saying all. It's just like, and they say all motorcycle clubs are, with organized crime. All of them are criminals. All of them break the law. All of them deal in drugs. All of them run prostitutes. All of them do this. All of them do that. Now, I get this straight. It's not all of anybody. No matter what group, no matter what organization, no matter what collective of people you have, there are always individuals who are going to do what they want to do. That's their right. Whether it's right or wrong, socially acceptable, unacceptable, it does not matter. It's their right to do it. It's their risk for the consequences of whatever they do. But that also applies or should apply to law enforcement as well. Because how many officers do we see? Well, I know there was a task force in a town down over by me, which we'll leave nameless at this time. Don't want to make that many friends.
Yeah.
That were in charge of investigating break-ins that they were doing. Okay? So when you end up having groups, that means it's saying, what, all law enforcement is bad? No, it's not. All law enforcement isn't bad. Remember I said that, by the way. But also, like everything else, there's a bad apple in every bushel. So you can't take one or two individuals, make them your poster child for evil, and say, this is what's going on, and this is the way it is, and all of them are like that.
All of them, right.
Okay? So, and that's the point I'm trying to make on those things, is that not everyone is a bad apple in that bushel.
Right.
But you're going to have some. And it's with every group, whether you're in a riding club, whether you're in a motorcycle club, religious club, and whether you're in a law enforcement agency, there's always somebody that puts that stain on that shirt.
I'll tell you another one that I liked was the unspoken responsibility.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts on that.
Well, on a collective with all the articles, I usually go with some basis I've had with a personal experience or observations. It just comes down to where people need to start thinking for themselves. They need to start looking at things with more open eyes than what they do, especially when we're looking at what's going on right now. Yeah, you have people feeding off of of social media, off the media, CNN, NBC, Fox, whatever they decide they want to have on their television set at the time. And I get this all the time. I'll put an example of maybe something from the Senate or from the House. And I'll put the numbers on there, everything they need to look it up. But they'll still go, well, what is all this? They won't take the time to look it up themselves. To realistically put it, they're too freaking lazy. They want it handed to them. They want it fed to them. And that's the biggest problem. News media will feed it to you. They'll tell you what they want you to hear. They'll tell you what they want you to believe. They'll give you the numbers that they want you to end up absorbing and go, oh, my God, I'm having the worst day in the world. And
what's going to have the biggest ratings?
Yeah, and that's just it. They're looking at it by what somebody else is giving them, who they don't know from Jack. But it comes down to, if that's the case, you'll believe what anybody tells you. The homeless guy who walks up to you and sits there and goes and asks you for change or asks you for a beer or says, we'll work for food, and then goes and puts the meter in his Mercedes. Or who are you going to believe? If you're going to sit there and just blindly believe everybody. Now, don't get me wrong. Goodwill is a great thing. Wanting to trust your fellow man, absolutely awesome. It's a fantastic concept. Mm-hmm. But there are people out there who take advantage of that, and they take advantage of it in the worst way. And like we spoke about earlier, bikers are very giving people. I, for one, never want to see a person hungry or homeless. Mm-hmm. So, I'll go out of their way. And if I have work to give them, I'll offer them that work. I can tell you probably on one hand out of 100 people actually took the opportunity to have the job.
Yeah.
But it's so much easier to get a suntan on your palm than it is to go out there and put blisters on your fingers. And that's the sad part.
Yeah.
Now, there are some people out there who can't physically work. All right, and I understand that. And there's programs for that, and they're pain in the ass to get into. I understand that, too. Mm-hmm. But it still comes down to we blindly start to believe things as a people and don't look into it ourselves. And as bikers, our giving nature immediately wants to dig into your pocket and give that guy $1, give him $5 or whatever. Start thinking about it with the charities, too. I mean, we go to all these runs. We love riding in groups. We like being seen. We like getting dressed up, get on our bikes, and be seen with our friends and have that camaraderie and whatnot to go on that ride. But is that ride you're on truly what it's for? I mean, you're talking about agencies and groups that are making thousands of dollars, not claiming a thing, and where does it go? So you start thinking for yourselves. Think about it with this virus. Think about it with the healthcare. Think about it with charities. Start opening your eyes. Don't believe everything you see on TV. See, that's why I don't watch television. It's the most ludicrous, retarded thing I think I could actually put myself and waste my time in front of, because I'll look at one channel and the next one will tell me a totally different thing.
Right.
So you got to start thinking for yourselves, people, on every level. It's sort of like that. What was it? My ex-wife and I used to end up talking about. It's that always big question. So what do you want for dinner? I don't know. What do you want for dinner? Oh, I don't know. Well, why not just make TV dinner saying, I don't know, whatever you want,
That's a good
Thursday.
thought.
And put the name on the package this way when you go, what do you want on Thursday? I don't know what I want. Well, here's your I don't know what I want.
It was delicious.
It was great.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, but it was great.
It was delish.
We got to start looking into things to give ourselves our own answers. Do our own research. Don't believe what everybody's telling you. Because if that's the case, when this is over, you go onto my Facebook page, I'll give you a whole list of things you could buy from me.
Yeah.
I probably don't own them.
But it doesn't
just
matter.
Just take my word for it.
But it's on the internet, so it must be right.
It's got to be true.
They say laughter is the best medicine. They must never have tasted wind. The new Lowrider S. Classic look, new roar.
Need we say more? Only at Crystal Harley-Davidson, Homosassa, Florida.
It's Born to Ride's the Safe at Home Bike Show. A 10-class bike show for you to easily enter. Best of all, it's absolutely free. Just enter your photos of your motorcycle with your name, make, and model to our direct message, Facebook, or Instagram. Best of show to be featured with a photo shoot by Eric Runyon for the cover of Born to Ride magazine. So be a part of the Born to Ride Safe at Home Bike Show.
I'm Fester Jenkins from Boss Hog Radio. Born to Ride is coming to Boss Hog Radio Thursday nights in April, 7 p.m. You don't want to miss it.
Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 1, get an attorney. When you or a loved one have been injured by another's negligence, an experienced attorney can make a huge difference. At Rubenstein Law, we will find all of the insurance, make sure your injuries are documented, and work to get you the best result. While each case is different, a well-known insurance company's own study showed people with a lawyer on average got more money. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
All right, guys. Hey, Matt Woxler here from Wheels Through Time. We're firing up more rare motorcycles today for our 17th anniversary coming up July 4th. Today, we've been spending all sorts of time around the teen shop here at the museum. The teen shop exhibit houses many of the rarest bikes inside Wheels Through Time. Over 2 or 3 dozen one-of-a-kind motorcycles. There's prototypes, there's experimentals, low production examples, and original paint machines. Today, we're cranking up the 1914 Elk motorcycle. The Elk is a one-of-a-kind machine built in Elkhart, Indiana. Very little is known about the bike, as in fact the 500cc engine, not one marking as to the manufacturer's name on the motor. Had this bike not been preserved in original paint for its entire life, we may not even know what sort of bike it is today. Now, this bike was purchased from a good friend of ours, Dave Leitner. Dave's from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and Dave's been an old motorcycle collector for many, many, many years, and has actually seen to it that a few of his very rarest motorcycles came to Wheels Through Time. A couple one-of-a-kind machines also. The Elk, the Dayton Motor Wheel, and our very rare Apache motorcycle also came from Mr. Leitner. But yeah, the machine is preserved in entirely original condition. 500cc pocket valve engine, and this is what's called an atmospheric intake valve. What you'll notice here is there's no push rod. There's no rocker arm. So the way that these engines draw fuel and air mixture into the engine is just by suction. It literally is light enough spring that when the engine, or excuse me, when the piston drops, it pulls air and fuel into the motor and comes back around and fires on the compression stroke. This bike is a pedal start, belt drive. It's actually quite advanced for its time in the fact that it has it's got a belt tensioner, which loosens and tightens the pulley down here. Then it also has an Eclipse clutch on the motor. So this is the type of bike that you could actually leave the belt fully tightened all the time and still be able to start and stop with the Eclipse clutch mechanism. Coaster brake as normal, just like your old style bicycle, so the only way to slow down is to back pedal. A bike like this is probably capable about 35, maybe 40 miles an hour when it's going real good. So we're going to get this bike fired up here momentarily. It's gassed up. We've got oil in the lower end, oil in the oil tank. We've lubricated some of the components already. Actually, I was rolling the bike around a little bit earlier and I heard something shaking around in the toolbox, so I figured we'd wait until the Facebook Live to actually see what's in there. And it looks like a toolkit of some sort. And no telling when the last time this was open. We got an original replacement spark plug, a clothespin here, the spark plug wrench, screwdriver, and even a spare skip link chain. So fingers crossed that we're not going to need it. Yeah, so the bike's a pedal start. Really fairly simple starting procedure on the bike. What you do is you climb aboard the machine. The only way to get a motor's running by spinning it. So you pedal this thing up to some speed. It's a decompression release here, very much like some of the early teens bikes. Lifts the exhaust valve and it lets you pedal that thing over without fighting compression. Once you get the flywheels built up with a little bit of inertia, drop that compression release and the thing should fire right off. So here we are, 1914 Elk motorcycle. Only place you can see one and the only place you can hear one run. have it, guys. 1914 Elk, one-of-a-kind machine right here at Wheels Through Time. Make sure you check out the rest of the Teens exhibit, guys, while you're here. We got a great crowd in today. There's one-of-a-kind machines all the way around the building, original paint bikes, survivors, bikes that have been in service for 100-plus years. So one of the real things that makes Wheels Through Time what it is that the building, or the collection here is as much about preservation as it is restoration. So bikes are only original once, and if so, we like to keep them as original as we can. So guys, thanks for joining in, and enjoy the rest of your look around. We'll crank it up again real quick if you want to hear it go. Out of gas. So, all right, guys.
Are you down with the nation? Tiny Trailer Nation, the biggest secret in travel and adventure. Take your motorcycle anywhere. Live in comfort on the spot. Say goodbye to hotel cost. Campers, toy haulers, themed trailers built for any budget. One bike or two. Includes electric, water hookups, microwave, refrigerator, sink, tie downs, and more. Your trailer or ours, new or used. Your dream is here at a working man's price. Tiny Trailer Nation, biker musician owned, a name you can trust. It's Born to Ride's the Safe at Home Bike Show. A 10-class bike show for you to easily enter. Best of all, it's absolutely free. Just enter your photos of your motorcycle with your name, make, and model to our direct message, Facebook, or Instagram. Best of show to be featured with a photo shoot by Eric Runyon for the cover of Born to Ride magazine. So be a part of the Born to Ride Safe at Home Bike Show.
Hi, I'm attorney Nicole Armstrong from Rubenstein Law, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 2, beware of strangers. If you've been in an accident and a stranger contacts you to get your case, watch out. They're breaking the law. These crooks knock on your door, send you text messages, and even go into your hospital room uninvited. They work for shady clinics and lawyers who want the insurance proceeds for themselves. Don't hire them, report them.
For more of these rules, go to rubensteinlaw.com.
Born to Ride TV Radio live every Tuesday night, 7 to 8 p.m. with Dave Flash Morgan, special guest, and Born to Ride TV content at Facebook. Born to Ride TV magazine. Read it, watch it, ride it.
Hey guys, this is Deputy LaCaze with the Volusia Sheriff's Office. I want to welcome you to Daytona Bike Week 2020. One of the things I'd like to see is all the people here. We're glad that you all come, and I just want to make sure that you understand, please don't drink and drive and ride safe.
You know, we were talking about the old panheads and the Evo motors. What are your thoughts on old versus new?
Well, that's a tough one because, I mean, I sort of have both. I like my old ones. I think mostly because it's just easier for me to work on.
Yeah.
It forces me to go slower and enjoy my ride a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be doing 140 on my panhead. I got to agree with the Evo. Great motor, great platform. I think that that motor right there is it's long lasting, it's reliable. I love it. I mean, I've got 105,000 on the bike that's out in that parking lot right now.
Nice.
So it's already proven to me that it's a great platform and very versatile. You can do pretty much anything you want to do with it. The new ones still, I think still in the trial phase as far as longevity.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, they're starting to make them bigger and bigger and faster and faster.
Well, they sure are.
But with that comes, other issues because, you're talking about putting yourself under more power with less experienced riders because they're buying them and they can finance them at a dealer.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that whole thing where everybody complains about as we said earlier, the Japanese bikes. You know, you get a factory bike 200 miles an hour out of the box, and you're putting a guy who just got his permit.
Yeah.
You know, again, personal decisions.
Are you down with the nation? Tiny Trailer Nation, the biggest secret in travel and adventure. Take your motorcycle anywhere. Live in comfort on the spot. Say goodbye to hotel cost. Campers, toy haulers, themed trailers built for any budget. One bike or two. Includes electric, water hookups, microwave, refrigerator, sink, tie downs, and more. Your trailer or ours, new or used. Your dream is here at a working man's price. Tiny Trailer Nation, biker musician owned. A name you can trust.
Yeah, I have to say, Born to Ride has been a big influence on my trailer sales in the last 2 or 3 months. It's been nothing but a big surprise. I mean, the magazine articles, everything in the commercials, it's been nothing but the best of help to me in my business.
Is your business becoming invisible? Create a great advertising relationship today with Born to Ride. Call 888-795-5779.